lie. I be rolling with you, mommy, I be feeling the motion. When I'm inside you, I be deep as the ocean. When it comes to your love, can't lie, it be strong as a potion. That's why me and you forever be coasting. Let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another one, man, and we back, y'all. This your boy Rob1, and this is Sparking Conversation, man. Y'all know where we chop it up with some of the most interesting people in the world. So like I like to start off each and every show every week with giving thanks, right? Giving thanks to all the people out there that support the platform, whether it's the video version or the audio version, man. We definitely appreciate y'all, man, especially those of y'all that download the audio version of this podcast each and every week on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all your places where you get your podcast from. We are there, and we thank y'all, man, for giving us a double salute and a shout out whenever y'all download the podcast and y'all listen to it on your road or wherever y'all going, man. It's so dope to know that people really want to hear what we got going on. So I definitely appreciate it. Want to make sure that we always get that out the way. So today's show is going to be very interesting too, right? Because y'all know for a minute now, we've been on this thing where we've been helping impacted families, right? We've been making sure that impacted families have a platform or where they could get their voices heard, right? Or where they could get what's going on with them out. And the thing is, a lot of people that we have on, they're dealing with things that are kind of like not really new. You know, they've been dealing with things that's been going on for a few years or so, or they've been dealing with things where it may be kind of fairly new, but the thing that they're having to deal with is so heavy that, you know, they sometimes feel hopeless. So being able to talk to these people and for them to reach out on, you know, after the show and them let me know like how good it felt for them to be able to get their story out, that's a good look. So I feel like I just got to continue with that whole energy right there, right? Of allowing people to come up on the platform and tell their story. Now, a lot of times, you know, the stories that people are telling are stories that really are major. They come across the news. It's just that they come and then they go, right? Because it's affecting us. And y'all know how it is. They love to sensationalize us to get the people to view it and get them to view us, but never to figure out how, you know, if it's really even true or not, a lot of things that we deal with, right? So even with today's guest, right? I got my boy Kevin Upkins going to come on the show, right? I'm going to let him come on a little later on and he's going to tell y'all what's going on with him because he's actually in it right now. Everything that he's going to talk about today is what he's dealing with right now. Like I said, man, it's very, very rare. Like even in the space that he's in right now, that we could get people that could get on and tell a story, right? So it's gonna be a dope one, y'all. And I want y'all to make sure that y'all pay attention to everything this brother gotta say. And you know, as we go throughout the conversation, I want y'all to make sure that y'all have some things in mind that y'all want to consider too, as well. Whenever it come down to understanding the difference between when somebody really done something wrong or when somebody has not and they have to fight to keep their name in a certain space. Now, I don't know, man. A lot of things that's going on out here right now in the world is crazy when it comes to people in their names. Let's just be real. You know, Diddy got the internet on fire. Carisha and them got the internet on fire. Dave Shapiro got the internet on fire. Candace Owens, you know, everybody got the internet on fire. Even, you know, even what's going on in the presidential race, you know, a lot of things are on fire. But another thing that's on fire is Mississippi, right? Mississippi is out here wilding, and it's a lot of things that's been happening. The self-proclaimed goon squad, yo, you know, they all got sentenced, and it's very rare that we on this end actually get justice for what the police actually do or even get justice for the things that people got that's dealing with something that's considered corruption. And then people who actually be yelling it out like, yo, this place is corrupt, this is corrupt, that's corrupt. And then for them to actually have to be sentenced based on nothing but corruption and the way that they felt like they had a certain power. Yo, it's crazy how much people will abuse power. It brought me back to something. Like, if you kind of think about this syndrome right here, like this is the one of the things, you know, that I think that we suffer with the most in our community because I saw Isaac Hayes Jr. today put up a question. And he put up a question that I felt like was really, 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 you know what I'm saying, interesting. I wanted to know what everybody else thinks, right? But this is what he says. He said, you know, how many times have we as a people been disrespected by a company and we actually joined together and pulled our dollar from that company and then never went back? So what he did was he stumped all the people on the never went back part. Not the fact that people ain't coming together. They ain't banned against Nike. They ain't banned against H&M. They ain't banned against all these other things, Balenciaga and all these other things when they did it. But they went right back, and it was us. And it was very hard for me to not really be able to answer that question because it's true. Because even think about this, not too long ago, just last week, and I want to say it was in New York. Now, Gucci, I think it was either Gucci, Prada, one of them. They was in, releasing some new materials, some new gear, some new everything. They just had a new line that they were dropping. Do you know it was a bunch of us that was forcing our way into the store and fighting each other and arguing over just trying to get in the store to spend money on shit and a company that will never ever in their life, you know, do put anything back into your community. The groups of people that actually invest in the things that harms us the most, we spend our money with the most. So I just wanted to throw that out there to all of y'all that may be watching right now, and those of y'all that's gonna watch the playback. That, you know, I think, you know, outside of what happened yesterday with the eclipse, because I know a lot of people have been affected by the eclipse as well in a couple of other ways, right? Not also so ways where it was like physical and stuff like that, but a lot of people been affected by it spiritually. I know in some places and some spaces, you know, people don't really want to talk about that on that end, right? Because right now everybody is screaming things from so many other different angles when it came to the eclipse, right? But then it kind of made me think. I was like, damn, you know, the sun is like millions of miles away. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 900 and some millions of miles away. And yet the moon never rotates the earth. The moon always stays in this particular space, right? That's just what it does. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, if the sun sets from the east to the west every day, how can during the eclipse the actual sun went from the south to the north? You know, I just be wondering sometimes, yo. Like nobody else. I mean, I understand that other people try to break that down, but I just wonder, you know, if people ain't really put that into perspective, like how could that be? Like how is that? If it goes the same way every day, how just on yesterday it decided to come from the bottom to the top? I don't know, man. It just makes me think of a couple of other things, you know what I mean? But that's not what tonight's show about. Tonight's show is about that one particular thing that we talked about in the beginning, is that when people go through things and they want to get their voices heard and people are judge them right where they are, because for them they just can't understand if it wasn't true why you are where you are. So what I'm gonna do is, before we bring our guests, you know, I'm gonna bring the crew up. Well, I got Meek in the now. What's good, Meek?
What's up? I'm in my
I,
car like a
I
homeless person say.
oh, I could tell. I could tell you on the move. You look like you're mobile tonight.
My kid got to work, so I had to pick her up.
Oh yeah, all right. That's what's up, yo. You always on double duty. Hey, look, a mom's job is never done, right?
Never, never, never.
Yeah, never clock out, yeah. Well, look, you already know. I appreciate you jumping on anyway. So we got our guest tonight, right? So I'm gonna get into it a little quick because we want to make sure that he get as much time in as he can and get his stuff out, right? So we got a guest on tonight, and his story is really really interesting. I think it's one of those that we gotta kind of pay attention to, because I know me, for me as a black man living in this, you know, whatever we want to call the society that we live in now, because it's just all up in the air right now. But whatever it is, you know, people always say that we scream the same thing all the time. I didn't do it. I'm innocent, right? And nobody wants to hear it. We scream from a lot of different places. And then when we scream, people say we're not supposed to be screaming. Shut up. Just take it as a man, right? But then we scream from a whole lot of different places. We scream trying to just be free. We scream trying to be a dad. We scream trying to, you know, say get opportunities. We scream for a lot of things, but you know, those things they tell us that we're not supposed to, right? They be emotional. Man, shut up. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna cry, what the baby gonna do?
Be a man.
Right. That's what they say. So look, we're gonna bring our guest up real quick because I feel like this brother's story is crazy. He sent me so much information. I went through a lot of different things, and man, it's just one of them things, man, where you feel like, like everybody we've been having on me on the show, it's always been some people that come on. Everybody so far, I just wish that I could personally just do something like besides just this, to
Mm.
help them. And but it has been working. I want to say so. Quinchella, she gonna come back on the show. So her daughter had a case.
Yeah.
And everything, yo, it's some real good details coming. So I want people to understand it is helping. So
Look.
it is a good look, for people coming on the show because I was able to connect her with a lawyer that was able to look at some things and move some things around. So look, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so thankful for the platform and for people giving me the opportunity to tell their story because whether they feel like they get a million views or not, they get help. And I think that's
Yeah.
what people want more than they want to be popular, they want to be helped. And I think that's the biggest thing. So, all right, we got the brother Kev. I'm about to pull him up right now. Let's see what's going on in his world. Kevin, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good with it, Sheet? We're good.
Ain't nothing. How you doing, brother? Good to have you on the platform. All right. So we could get some things going on for you, brother. So look, just do me a favor. Just speak up if you can, and I want you to tell the audience, who you are and why you're on the platform tonight.
Okay, my name is Kevin Upkins, and the reason why I'm on the platform is because you allowing me to tell my story. Um, I try to take as many opportunities anytime I have an opportunity to tell the story. And then, I've been going up to be exact. December 1st marks a year every time, it hit. So right now I'm at 15. December
15?
first will make December 1st will make 16 years. And what's crazy about it is I'm charged. My only charges are armed robbery and possession of a firearm, and that's a three-element offense. Like in the state of Georgia, armed robbery consists of three elements in order for that violation to be established.
Right.
Um, One is to, intent to commit theft. Two is taking the possession of another. Three is use of a offensive weapon or replica. You know, but the thing is, there is no weapon in this case. There's no
God.
video. There's no visual of a weapon in this case. No party was injured. When you look through the records, nobody was injured, spit on, or pushed or nothing. But my sentence is life without parole.
Wow.
Life without parole. Never been arrested. I mean, never been guilty of of any violent offense of anything. You know, Now it started. My issues started after my first incident coming to prison. It was for a drug offense. Me and Young Jock, we grew up together. We family. Like my
Okay.
grandma kicked it with his grandma. My mom, dad kicked it with his mom and aunts and so forth.
Right.
Spending night, that type of thing. So of all the people that I know personally, kicked it with, grew up with, or whatever, you know, when his success kicked off, it was the biggest impact. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, um, doing my first stench was when he blew. So, looking at the situation that I was in, and then looking at people that I knew growing up, Shawty Low, other artists, tip my hat to them. I'm like, okay, if they could do it, I could do it. We
Right.
love the attention we get in the streets or whatever, but when it come time to pay for it, and you know that these laws exist, and
Right.
and these people gonna enforce it, You got to get logic.
Right.
So I knew this wasn't something that I wanted to do. So coming out, I was like, I'm finna go push it that music. I wrote my first, song, and to my amazement, the reply that I got, it shocked me. I couldn't believe it. So it
Right.
really had me. So long story short, I met a guy named Anthony Cox.
Brian Michael
towards
Cox.
now his name Anthony Cox.
Oh,
I'm just
gotcha.
learning. I'm just learning that Antonio is part of his name too. But I
Gotcha.
got a web page also, so you could, go on there to, learn more about it. I got
Okay.
documents and everything. But anything that I say or you see, I can, elaborate and show proof towards. But
Gotcha.
back to the story, long story short, I get out, I meet him, Anthony Cox, in the course of things. I he had a nice flow on him. He good with the music, so I line him up. I'm like, okay, we gonna link up eventually. Cause seeing what Jock and everybody were doing around the city at that time, it had me convinced. Like,
You could
so
do it.
I eventually get out and I run into the dude. And I'm a man of my word. If I say something, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'm that's how I am. So I wind up seeing him. And I had already recorded songs. I've been doing shows around the city, but I don't know nothing. All I know is go in the booth, record. I don't know the business side. So, but I'm going through it to get the experience.
Right.
Over the course of a couple months, rocking with this dude, I learned that he actually mental health for real. In the county jail, he was taking medication. I'm thinking it was to get off his case or whatever. But I
Right.
started seeing little crazy shit. Then I'm telling him, look, bro, they gonna pay off. You just gotta stay down. But he had other agendas. My last draw was I had to go to Athens to do a show. So we hit the mall and I'm finna buy him some clothes or whatever. And buy me some clothes. Next thing you know, they calling my name over the intercom to come to the manager's office. I was kind of shocked because in my adolescent days, we used to, go to the mall, so we had got banned.
Right.
So I'm like, this over a decade later, why these people calling me? So I go to the office and he in here. They got him for stealing. He got clothes and everything. But so I wind up paying for the goods, and I'm so angry that I didn't even keep the merchandise. So long
Right.
story short, we wind up that was the last draw for me right there. So
Right.
I cut him off. I would like to him be his way, to me be mine. Another I guess he thought I was playing because he came around my spot up in Buckhead, a few days later. I was like, look, bro, I'm straight. I got too much going on. I got a kid on the way. You know what I mean? I done got married and
Right.
everything. Blase squad, I'm pursuing the music. So, I dropped them off at the train station and gave them $50.
Right.
That was the last time I seen him. About 3, 4, no, it was about 3, 4 months later, I'm in Born Home. We shooting dice. I'm here and I get a call. It's him
Right.
and his sister. His sister got him on three-way. He in Cobb County jail. He done got pulled over in the car or something he was telling me. And he was talking about Boom. And I learned that he had a a, a probation hold in Gwinnett, and I think Cobb, Gwinnett and Cobb.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, man, that dude can't, get out. He on, and I was like, I ain't rocking with him no way. Matter of
Right.
fact, I take that back because that's when he came. I take it back when I had told you too early about me taking him to the train station. like after I learned that he had that got arrested and then had that probation hold, I was like, I'm done with that dude. I had changed my mind right after getting off the phone with him. Cause you can't make bond on probation. Then 2 counts.
Right.
I was like,
Right.
I'm done with this dude. So about a month later is when he showed up in Buckhead. So
Gotcha.
I'm looking at him, I'm like, damn, how the hell he get out, like, that phase with probation. And he just had got arrested on a new charge.
Right.
And he already be acting weird. So I'm like, whatever he got going on, I don't want to be a part of it. So I'm like, hey, that's when I told him what I told him and dropped him off at the station or whatever. After that, I say it was a few weeks later, man, my world just was turning upside down. It's a Paulding County report that was did on the carjack.
Right.
This when it all started. He was pulled over in Cobb County in a car that was involved in the carjack. The report on my site, so I won't elongate it. But he gave a false name. He was with his pregnant female at the time. He gave a fake name. She didn't know it, so she gave another fake name. They took them to the precinct in which they learned who his identity really was, and then they learned that the car was involved in the carjacking.
Right.
He tell the people that he got the car from me. I had bought the car for 1.5 ounces of drugs. Um, and he later told him I had stolen laptop. Um, um, and I had a silver color handgun. It was specific in that report, a silver color handgun. So and he was telling them where I was located. They rolled to the wrong spot to over there North Side Drive, and I believe he intentionally did it, but they doubled back on him, pressing him, and then he sent them to where I was in Buckhead. So
Dang.
that's when they made contact with me. Now, an investigation was done on in the incident. I was ruled out as a suspect. Paulding
Right.
County is far west of Atlanta, a town I never been to. At that time, I had never, even knew of a Paulding County.
Right.
And you gotta be mindful. I'm born and raised in Atlanta. So my
Right.
area, Metro, the County, Decatur, South, College Park, things of that nature.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't them little outskirts like that. I don't, maneuver
Yeah.
like that.
True.
So I so I was ruled out as a suspect in that incident. Um, when they learned about the of me doing a show in Athens too, your verse diverse. I think that's the proper name. It was in Athens,
Right.
and I couldn't have been, part of it, and I was up there, and I had actually won the show.
Right.
So that was the first thing. I got ruled out as a suspect. Now he done gave them that report, so now they showing up in my spot in Fulton County, and the police he talking to me at the door. I'm playing the game, got the door wide open. You can
Right.
smell the weed because I had been smoking, and I'm playing the game. He acknowledged, he announced himself, and he talked to me from right there. So
Right.
I sit right there and talked to him, and he asking me about some robbery, and I like, what man, you got me. So I like, man, you got me fucked up. I like, I don't know what you talking about, pimp. I just got out. I been doing music, did that in third. I just went to talk. So he used that as a means of walking on in. I ain't telling him to come in. You know,
Right.
so he looking around on watching me, but I'm like, hey, look, man, you got the wrong person. So then he go to asking me about home. So I'm like, look, man, I don't know what's going on with it. Last I seen him was about, I think it was a week ago. He came over here. I told him, about, him going up, taking him up there to the
Bus
the
station.
train station,
Station.
and then it's it's a gas station across the street. So I know they checking all this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because he dropped me off at the gas station on another trip. That was another trip though. But so they now that they in here, he got the other officers. They probably like 7 deep. You know what I mean? But once I get that report that was done that he did in Paulding County, I learned of the items that
He said
you
you
know
had.
Anthony had with them that I was in possession of. That's why they here, but I put at the time. So they looking for a silver color handgun, or one of the most important items, you know, thinking today. So they were me with it, but the weapon I had was black.
Right.
It's a marijuana. All that talk about Nick. Long story short, you know, on that case got dismissed. So I'm in the holding tank ready to go home. Gucci had just got locked up for that incident with sent them back to the federal pen. So I'm in the holding tank, me and Shaw talking, and that's what made me you know, ride with Dennis Shot once I got to Douglasville. But the thing of the matter, I'm in the holding tank waiting to go home. This case got dismissed. So I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna reset and get back to the business because I gotta learn the game. So I'm like, I can go get me an attorney, find me a manager, and sort, take my time. So I'm in the holding tank, and that thing, you know, everybody leaving. They split us up. I'm in the holding tank by myself, and that thing, you know, I see two sheriffs in brown and green. They calling my name, so I'm tripping off the colors that they got on. And one of the
Right.
officers was like, KK, you finna go to D-Ville. So when they said D-Ville, I'm thinking they saying talking about DeKalb County, because this is where I got probation.
Right.
But me and my probation officer, he know the effort that I'm putting in. That's why I know hold was on. It took to do what they did for the probation officer to later put a hold on. So they held me in the holding tank for nearly a week. And then the arrest warrant was filed. Because they didn't have an arrest warrant to take me out of Atlanta to Douglasville. You know,
Right.
I didn't even learn. I was just happy to get off Wright Street because this case was dismissed, and I'm like, okay, this is a mistake. We get here, they're gonna sort this out. I'm like, we'll sort it out there. So, and that's how it was. And next thing you know, I was booked. I had been trying to find a warrant. I had called the city, called the county. You know, my ex-wife, who I was married to at the time, she'll vouch. You know, we on the phones. Nobody know Nick. You know, but a week later, you know, it pop up. You know, and I get it through the attorney that I had hired probably about a month later. And the mentioning of a silver colored handgun was stated in the arrest warrant.
Right.
So once I got that report from Paulding County, it did the trip part to the attorney. It was a public defender that handled that case in Ford County. Because my ex-wife wanted to hire an attorney, but I had been to the law library and I already exercised some of the knowledge that I was using. So I was gambling with it. You know, gambling off me what I was knowing. And the case, got dismissed. But that was the first argument me and my baby mom even had because she wanted to get me an attorney. And I was
Right.
like, no. But long story short, they booked me December 1st. The warrant was filed December 8th of 2008. Now here go the killer. This is in a security finance bank in Fairburn Road. It was only one victim inside the bid.
Right.
First, in my case, the only evidence is some checks, a money order, and that was it. That's the only physical evidence. I on the 911 call, that victim called, the police, like, help, please send help. And if y'all could, I would like to help to get that 911 call because I want to put that on my web page also.
Right.
But she like, please help. I've been robbed. And then so the dispatcher was letting know, getting information, letting know help was on the way. She asked if they was still there and anything. She like, no, they gone. So she started pushing for description after that. So the lady was like, two African American males wearing t-shirts. When the 911 caller pushed for more information, the lady got hysterical, like, I don't know, just please send help. So the lady backed off and like, help is on the way. When the detective get here, he canvassed the scene for evidence. Allegedly they found, $100 bill, some check, and a money order. They got drawers, drawers with money that hold the money in the checks or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And they even took the door handle. They does, fingerprint all these stationary items. My print didn't come off nowhere.
Wow.
All right. But this is what they said my print, they said one of my prints came up on the checks that was dropped on the ground. But I don't want to speed up. The
Right.
detective canvassed the scene. He get a statement from her. It corroborates the same thing she said, over the 911 call when it came down to, giving the description. She didn't know.
Right.
At the time I had more goals in my mouth. I got tattoos. The perpetrators, there's nothing in the record saying anything about them having no mask in there. So you gonna know me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, so then he got a statement from another teller because she had just came back. When she left is when it happened. And then when she came back, she was saying that somebody came to the window looking up. They did the fingerprints and all that on it.
On the
I
window?
don't understand. On the window.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So long story short, how do you not have no video feed? This is a business that deal with money. It
Right.
sits in a plaza next to a barber shop, and I think it was a grocery store. And it was some kind of like a little Honda like this, in the area.
Right.
And what I declare is I never been to this town a day in my life. I never made a phone call, went shopping, none of this. So all you gotta do is just show a video of me. That's all you gotta do is just show one video of me. Okay,
Facts.
I'm moving on. The detective still canvassing. There were two witnesses outside the business. Alexander Graham and I forget the other name. But the police report on my site, they know.
Right.
These two witnesses outside the business is where the description came from. Black, height, hairline, clothing, complexion. These are the
Right.
descriptions that these two witnesses. But at trial, these two witnesses didn't testify. Guess who testified to what they wrote in their statement? The victim, the lady who was in the bank. Yeah, the lady, everything, when you look at those statements and you look at the transcript, everything that she testified to is identical. Those two individuals, I hired private investigators. I done hired lawyers. I ain't been able to find these people. I don't think they exist. But this is where that description come in first. You know what I mean? All right. So moving on. All right. And then they collect the checks and the money orders. They didn't they didn't examine the money, the $100 bill because so many hands touch it. And you know what they examining is the amino acids and the sweat, of a print. Cause they
Right.
talk about paper now, so it has to absorb. You have to have something to absorb. Now check this out. I my print ain't no other stationary items. You had each individual who brought the check in to the clerk that day and the money order. Not to mention the original person. It was two other people on two different items who originally wrote it, but other took it to the business, and the other one husband took it to the business. Then you have the clerks who received the item. Nobody print on they can't find no print on nothing but mine on the print on the check. Now check this out though, cause this where the juice on the meat off the bone come in. And I got life without parole for this, bro. And I've been down 15 years.
Damn.
All right, the examination. I filed a consolidated motion, which is on my site. You'll see these are the defenses I'm asking for. Dennis Shaw, he keep trying to charge every time I turn around, it's 3-4 wrecks. He trying to charge me like on Gucci, so we get into it. Long story short, he pulled off my case about 2 or 3 different times, but the last time, he was gone. So I drafted that consolidated motion that I had a copy of from my lawyer that was at Wright Street.
Right.
She the one who gave me that report from Paulding County. And then she gave me that consolidated motion. Looking in hindsight, I think that she seen everything that was going on and what they were trying to do and tried to give me a little something. Because both of those items mean so much today.
Right.
I never forget. I forget her name was Miss Jones. She was from the island, had the accent and everything. She was in the public defender's office. But they tried to get me to take the plea, and I booked 3 times. I had to court thinking I was gonna take the plea, get in court and book. They had to take me back. The last time the last plea was time served, and I said no, and they dismissed the case. But back up to speed. Okay, the detective, when the district attorney asking him questions at trial, how do you package evidence? How do you handle the evidence? Get it ready. He testified to the standard operation procedure. But when my attorney, and then he injected things like he packaged it, put it in the evidence box. That's where the evidence tech will come get it whenever they do, and then they do what they do.
Right.
But this type of evidence need temperature control, proper packaging. He got it in a paper bag.
Right.
In May, that's summertime.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So, but when my attorney cross-examined him, we find out it didn't go nothing like how he just testified. He got the evidence from the scene, May 2nd, 2008. The evidence is mysteriously located somewhere because there is no inventory of the evidence. There is no chain of custody. I mean, chain of evidence. Submitted on the
Right.
evidence. So from May 2nd, 2008 to May 16th, we don't know where the evidence was located. He walked in to the evidence processor. Both of them in the same building. They see each other every day in and out of work. So why hold the evidence that long? You know what I mean?
Right.
He walk it in and give it to the evidence processor in the envelope. The evidence processor process it on May 22nd. They have a lady named Miss Gaines who works at Douglasville, who's the evidence, who's the APHIS. She run fingerprints through the automatic, system for fingerprints.
Right.
They skipped over his explanation to why they did it because, that she helped with surrounding counties and she was just overflowed with work. But she worked for the county that we need these checks, the prints,
Yeah,
checks ran
yeah,
on. They skipped over her and waited nearly 6 months to send the checks to GBI. The checks made it to GBI October 21st, 2009. But hold up, you got to back up to September 9th. Because anytime somebody go inside the envelope and deal with these items, examine it, they got to
yes,
sign and then they got to date their name. I mean, date
yeah,
beside the name. So when you call, did you examine it? Yeah. What was your examination? What was your conclusion? And then how did you properly seal it? All they got to be done.
right.
But October 21st was when the checks hit GBI. But when you back up to September 9th, 2009, somebody had went inside the envelope to deal with these checks, but they didn't sign their name. They only dated the envelope. So
Uh,
I
uh,
can't call who went it, the DA, the evidence processor. Nobody can tell me who went inside this envelope. But the whole time it been in the detective and this processor possession. GBI. So what GBI did was run propped up paperwork that came to them, a CD that was sent to them.
right.
And they ran it through the system and then got a name. They didn't process it and do all the, Douglasville did that. So but here go the kicker though. I know it's a lot of kickers, but
Nah,
that
I'm just saying.
consolidate
Go ahead, go
that,
ahead. No, go ahead.
that consolidated motion, I'm requesting to suppress. First I filed an ex parte motion. The court granted me an expert to examine the check. But talking to the store, having these stores around the jail and seeing how they playing, I ain't trusted. So I want to buy my own. You know,
Right.
I hire one. For weeks, months, we trying to get these checks. It was 2 attempts made between my attorney and the DA. They talking, and I didn't get the checks till one day before trial. The discovery statute requires that you get the evidence they plan to use against you at least 10 days before trial. I done read cases where they done violated by 3 days and the evidence wasn't was ruled out, couldn't be used in no continuance wasn't requested, no nothing. I had no defense at trial, but you gotta be mindful. I don't know what my rights consist of. I don't know how to put together a defense. So I'm confining into the attorney. I had Dennis Shy, but when he got off the case and I filed that consolidated motion, the judge didn't, accept my motion. I later hired, um, and what they did, they put a public defender on my case. Cause I was finna hire Jennifer Knight, but they put a public defender on my case for the judge to not accept my motion pro se. Cause the judge can't accept the motion if you have representation because it undermines the defense of the attorney. And I didn't learn because I'm certified as a paralegal. I went to law school with Blackstone. And
Right.
I graduated with a 93.56 GPA. I also got a degree in business, associate degree in business and management. But I did all that back here on top of the things that, for 15 years straight, investing into me getting up out of it. You wouldn't believe the things I done.
Right.
Real talk. But so um um the district attorney made the evidence available to my attorney the evening before trial, man. And when my attorney took my expert to the DA office, there's no protective measures. So the district attorney know who my expert is. So
Right.
while they in there consulting they in consulting. I want to examine this shit. Fuck a consultation. Excuse my language. But in the middle of that consultation, it was less than 30 minutes. The district attorney interrupted and subpoenaed the expert and took him as their witness. So now I'm in trial the next day with no expert.
Damn. And the expert wound up being the state's witness?
So you got GBI testifying, and then you got um the state, the expert I paid up there who they witness. So I later learned that cause doing trial, my attorney used to be so fidgety, even used to get flirtatious. And I used to be one to bite that shit. But I was newly, and in this situation was serious. I was like, I ain't fuck with it. I'm gonna just use it to my advantage and just hope she work for me. But I really
Right.
believe they double up what I paid her because she didn't put on no defense. And then you look on my site, you will also see she was arrested for Xanax. They had her on probation. She didn't do good on probation and was disbarred. It's all, I got a picture on my site, on my site. And these are the atmosphere that I was, being prosecuted in.
Right.
David McDade, Jennifer Knight was my trial attorney. David McDade was the prosecutor, over the prosecution, and Jeff Gore was the one who prosecuted the case. But David McDade pleaded guilty to federal corruption charges, and resigned. He later went to Fayetteville, became a district attorney out there, and was fired due to child pornography. You can Google it. It'll come up. But this is the atmosphere. Man, my trial wasn't fair a little bit, man. I never been to this town a day in my life, bro. No
Man.
cap. And then, and so on appeal, I hired Kendall Muhammad. I went that route because I'm Muslim, so I'm feeling like, okay. And by the way, you're gonna see his picture and the video with Boosie because he ran out with like 70 racks of Boosie money. Boosie was putting out a, bounty, the locator, trying to get his money back. But this guy, I hired him because I didn't know law, so I'm like, okay, well, my attorney messed up. I don't want to be at fault by her mistake, so I'm gonna hire somebody so he can file ineffective assistant counsel. Now,
Right.
be mindful this consolidated motion, the defenses I'm asking for is on record. I'm referencing it to my trial attorney, which she abandoned, and then now referencing it to him when he coming to see me. So I'm
Right.
thinking, okay, we finna get, we finna dissect the real issue here. Because no defense will put up other than me innocent to proven guilty. It was going so bad, I had to get on the stand. I'm glad I did because I had to tell the jury that they put these prints on the screen, telling y'all that these my prints, but y'all take my expert. I want to get an expert to examine these chicks. Y'all just telling these folks like, y'all can't just look at these prints and tell them that they man. So my baby mama worked for Homeland Security. She interviewed immigrants, do green cards, things of that nature. And that was my alibi. The day we actually met was the day that this incident happened. I was in East Point, in the plaza, in Douglasville, on the other end of Georgia. I mean,
Right.
on the other end of Atlanta. So, the detective used to threaten her, telling her she didn't do this, that, and the third. He'll lock her up. Cause my prints all over the business. You know, so 3 months prior to trial, the detective went back to the victim in the business. Kevin Upkins. Have you ever worked him? Fingerprint led us to him. You know, so he's securing it in her head that it was me. But and then get what though, Rush? At trial, when they asked her, do she see him? She said, yeah, that's him right there. And pointed me out.
Whoa.
But look, the detective, you remember I told you she testified to the description
Yeah.
that the other witnesses said, and then said, yeah, that's one of the guys right there. So when my lawyer was asking why the detective, why he didn't do a photo lineup with her, because it's in the police report, she said she wouldn't be able to identify the perps if she saw them in the future. Those are the exact words. You know what I mean? But nearly 2 years later on the day of trial, it is 11 whites and 1 black on the jury. You know what I mean? It just made so much going on with this, bro. They impeached me. They didn't even. It just so much that could have happened in my defense, and my lawyer didn't do it, man. Then that thing, you know, she in Peachtree Street. The lawyer up there on Peachtree Street. The same thing with my appeal lawyer. Right after, cause they wasn't in no condition to be up there in no bill. Right after my case, though, they wound up in Peachtree Street. Both of them. You know, that's odd. But I gave him $1,100 because I ain't paid them $500 for on the first expert. So when I hired him on this case, I gave him $1,100 so he can cuff some, but have something to play, you know, another expert. So my baby mom was my baby mom, she told she get the ex damn, I seen that comment. That shit throw me off. What I had a brain fart, Rashid. What I was saying?
You said you was talking about your baby mother. She was you was about to say something about what she was trying to help you with.
Oh yeah. Like she had introduced me to a expert.
Right.
Home, he was retired, but he see how I'm campaigning and champagne. You know, got the rallies, the marches, the little interviews, and
Right.
and I get a crowd together. You know what I mean? So it had him so interested. He wanted to get involved and offer his service. So I tell Ken Mohammed, yeah, I introduced him, get him on the phone. About a couple months later, I'm under the impression that the business being handled. Then I learned that he ain't even called me. So
Wow.
I blow. I'm like, man, I said some things I shouldn't have said too. But then we wind up, setting it to the side, and he said he gonna pull up on him. Then I find out the guy wind up passing.
Damn.
You already know how I'm thinking. I can't get into it because I ain't got no proof. But
Right.
I'm like, man, it's crazy. So now he telling me he looking for an attorney. I mean, a expert to examine it, and he think he found somebody. That was the last I heard till I did my habeas corpus. He didn't think I was gonna come in there, halfway prepared because I had been doing my own independent studies. I hadn't went to law school at the time, but I got some good questions in. Like, did you tell me about this report? Cause he's testifying that the print belonged to me.
Right.
He who I'm relying on this, examination. So to this day, I still haven't had these checks examined. And it's 15 years later, bro. 15 years later. Every time I try to do something, they work their legal jargon, and that's what they did. I believe they just wind up getting my attorneys to keep me in check, to keep me at bay. Cause even though I'm curiosity isn't sure. He still know what I don't know.
Yeah.
So I asked him, did you give me the report? He was like, nah. I like, did you tell me about the report? He was like, nah. I was like, so who the expert you hired? What's the name? He couldn't remember. What the number is? He can't remember. Where they from? He said somewhere down in Florida, but he couldn't get the script. For real though. And I got life without parole, bro. Then my son was born 4 months after I got arrested.
So you never really had an opportunity to be with your
Man,
son.
like the first, like, 'cause I was in the county of, like I didn't hold him till he was like 13 months when I got, down the road. And then look, it's so crazy, bro, because I'm brave. The way this was done, I had started thinking about hurting myself, taking, cause I couldn't believe it. But I holding my son that first time is what snapped me out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it just I had turned into some other shit. I'm Muslim, so I was going there a lot of games. And I was trying to make them come back at me.
Right.
But it was like during that time and the location where I was, I got the opposite effect. And, I just snapped out of it. And, I just been on some peaceful and positive. I be stopping wars and it, but, shit gets so crazy sometimes, you know, it's out of your hands.
Yeah, I can
Um,
imagine, bro.
but so basically my attorney, was just wasting up my opportunities to prove my innocence. So when I got past the hey, that it's difficult because the average person don't know what to do in the procedures we are obligated, let
Yeah.
alone the let alone the violence that you have to initiate.
Right.
And that's what pretty much happened. And that dude Anthony Cox, man, three different agencies he sent at me. The first ruled me out as a suspect, second dismissed the case, the third one didn't even investigate. And I gotta tell you this before we go. The evidence I just newly discovered was about 2 weeks ago. 9 months after I had got arrested, he got arrested on another bank robbery. Now check this out. But this one was federally insured, so it sent them to the Fed. The transcript on my page, and all it.
Right.
He convinced the guy who had AIDS to take the write an affidavit to take the charge, saying that he robbed the bid. And a week or so later, the guy recanted the statement. But the same MO. He walked in, he up the fire, robbed the business, and then when he left, he dropped his glasses. Then they led them to him. In the same case, I'm charged with the person came in, robbed the place, left, and dropped something.
The exact same
And
thing.
look, you look at his record: armed robbery, armed robbery, armed robbery, robbery, robbery. Then you get some traffic, citations, theft by receipt, and motor, all kind of other stuff like that. And I ain't got
Damn.
none one of them. You feel me?
And you don't
But
have
I can't.
nothing,
I, ain't,
nothing on
I,
the
I,
record, bro.
I got theft by receiving, a possession of a firearm, and a possession of cocaine. And they gave me life without parole, bro. See, we've been getting ready to go to the district attorney's office, in the near future. Put together, the package that I got showing that the nigga been rehabilitated. I got the warden and the chaplain on my side. They said they were gonna write a letter, but to no avail. And I ain't trying to wait on it. So um
You just
they're
gonna keep
trying to get
pushing.
out.
Yo, so let me ask you this though, bro. So So you can't appeal or none of that stuff now, or you just gotta try to ride it out like until you can get a new, or like
See, like
what's
that's what we doing now. In the next week or so, um, our people they going to the district attorney's office. They gonna show that I'm certified as a paralegal now. I've been helping people. I'm active in the community out there. Uh,
Yeah, so for those of y'all that's watching right now, if this is your first time watching, please, if y'all watching on YouTube right now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure y'all hit the notification bell because we have a lot of interesting people on, and like you said, you just never know when you may be able to relate to a person that's on the show. So just make sure that y'all following the show and keeping up with what we got going on. Our guest right now, he's actually inside. You know what I mean? So. Uh, if he has to jump off and on or whatever, just bear with him until we get through the show. You know what I'm saying?
I think they just
But yeah,
walking around.
y'all, for those of y'all that's watching live, definitely appreciate y'all. The comments are wide open. If y'all want to shoot some encouraging words, or anything like that to the brother, man, y'all more than welcome to do that. The comments are wide open. All right, bro. So what was you saying? You were saying that in the next week or so, y'all about to hit the district attorney's office.
Yeah, just to show that I been doing productive things back here, and my conduct isn't messed up, and just to show that I even help out there in the community, man. I'm part of the community.
Right,
Um, just to show because then again, this sentence is excessive, man. I do got an avenue available. It's called a successive habeas corpus,
right.
and the other is an extraordinary motion for new trial. The information about him getting locked up for a bank 9 months later, and the same thing happened here.
Yeah,
Where his name was mentioned in the trial,
right,
because you see the pattern how he's sending people at me, and then it show you that he trying to get somebody to take his. That's material evidence. I didn't learn about this armed robbery until a couple weeks ago, and I
right,
done had private investigators. I done had attorneys. That's why I know he in the farm, because we used to try to keep tabs on what was going on with him, where he was located. And after the counter incident, it just went blank. We could never find anything else. And then my homegirl Meg, who I hooked up with, who helped put my web page together, Shawty located it within 10 minutes, because she paralegal on the silver, part, perspective, and
right.
she do her own investigative work, but she in a whole nother state. And that's pretty much what I do, just link everything Gucci. Hold up.
Yeah. So for those of y'all in the comments, definitely, yeah, appreciate y'all jumping on, man, and vouching for Kevin and his character because it's important. Um, it's sad though, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, for those of y'all that's watching, man, to be accused of something you didn't do and to have to continue to find the motivation to fight, even when it seems like everything is against you. And another thing too, like a lot of people give up. You know what I mean? Like when they go through things like this, 15 years being down and being in a place where you gotta, you know, try to survive each and every day as well too. So this is just not an easy road to be on, y'all. So you good, bro? Or what's going on?
Yeah, everything Gucci. I just be trying to make sure that everything was good so they won't walk in on me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fact, fact. I wanted to say to you, bro, like, your story is it's a lot, right? But
I need to find out how I could possibly get those checks examined though, even after all this time. Cause
yeah,
like I had hired an attorney, um, Antoinette. I can't even I can't even remember her name. I put her on Front Street too. Like I hired her thinking that, and I'm telling her what I wanted, and once I paid her, she go to doing something else. She never left the house. She actually sent us on the mission. She sent me to open records to get copies. When I made it specifically clear what I wanted to examine these originals.
right,
So and that's what that happens a lot too. People take advantage because they know we trying to get something done when our life on the line. But I don't need to be tripping the money because I don't want an individual who don't care about money. Only reason
right,
why I go with it and I get it because everybody else so crazy about it.
right,
And they gonna help me get done what don't you call it. Anybody that tell you, I don't care about spending no money on this. I done had so many. I just be trying to learn. People learn that you don't know, they'll take advantage of you. So I be having this, to get there before I had to step into the role, you know, not actually in the role, but playing like I know the role till I did get a little game.
yeah, fact.
You
I
know,
mean, but that's part of who we are as people, as black men. Like they don't give us this type of credit, bro. They don't. They put us in such a position where we're always guilty before we're innocent. You know what I
now
mean? And these positions, you got to fight,
I finna ride with an attorney, from a civil perspective on it or whatever. It depends on how all this work out because and then I'm depending on how this meeting go, because I get involved with the politics. I put a street team out there with the residents out there in Douglasville, to show on the right candidate to go for. And I'm gonna base it off of this. Because anybody see my situation and know it's success. And know and man, for real, man, and nothing, man, I don't even know what to say, man. But
No, I mean, yo,
it's crazy though.
it's crazy, right? And there's no other way around it, man. I mean, it is crazy, but you're gonna come out the other end of this, bro.
And they probably take them with the helicopter.
Right.
And they probably LL shot at them, man.
Word. Well, you know what? It's a lot going on out there, bro. Like I was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying, when you had to step away. Where you are right now, it's a place where you have to try to survive as well as try to fight your way out of, just to keep your sanity and all that other stuff. So, I know it seemed like a lot, bro, and I don't know. I'm sure probably a lot of people will say as much things as they can positive to you as well to help you keep you motivated. But I just know, man, your story is huge, bro. And you're gonna get out of this. You're gonna come out of this. I've known other people who've had situations where they were facing life. I know one brother that was facing double life, and he had to do about 14 years. And then when he got out, he was able to turn his life around. He's a whole actor. He's been in mad movies. He produces films. He be in some of the joints with some of the big ones. And at the end of the day, his story is similar to yours in certain aspects, but for the most part, you guys have the same determination. I see the same determination in you that I saw in him. He wrote a book. He wrote his way out of the situation. He put on
Mm-hmm.
plays while he was in prison. He did all these things. He wrote his way out of his situation. And right now, that's what I hear from you. You know what I mean? You're writing your way, you're learning your way out of the situation. And you're going to be able to help so many people. Understandably, I know you don't want to go through this in order for you to find that purpose, because I know what it's like to, you know, be inspired by things like music and other things that you feel like will help change your life. But in the pursuit of that, you find your real purpose. And right now, you know what I mean? Your purpose is going to be so huge. What you're learning legally, and on the top of the fact of how you are just surviving in a place where you don't have no business being, but you're there. And God has been keeping you the whole time. You've been through some things. I know you said that earlier. I mean, you've been sending me stuff since we booked you for the show. And it's been stuff happening to other people where you are right now. As a matter of fact, it's something that happened tonight that was serious. You know what I mean? And so you are protected. And I just want you to know, bro, like after we finish the show, I am gonna chop this up, I'm gonna clip it up, and I'm gonna market and promote it. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully the right people can see it and hear it and get you the help that you need on top of the help that you have. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's a lot of people in your position who they say that they're innocent. And a lot of people don't respect that word coming from us. But then there's
Like,
those of y'all that are genuine. And I could tell, just based on your whole energy right now, that what you went through is basically your testimony, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. What you was gonna say?
like, um, like what's crazy is the mindset. Like people just so big on being viewed as a bear, a gorilla, man. That that stigma is the beginning, primary to
Right.
everything. For real, sometimes you see it viciously here because, like, honestly, like what I do, I'm a 1%. I remember
Okay.
one time it used to be like, you would come across people going to the law library, they'll pull up on you, hey, boy, you got that case, Baker versus State or Washington versus State, training, information, you don't even have litigators in no more. Everybody, doing signs or, on drugs. You either on drugs or you get money or you just gang bang.
Right.
And I'm saying, like, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, I'm a 1%er, man. And I do what I can, to help people. They look at me as an OG, respected by all six. I ain't never fly on name. I'm official. I do what I can. But I didn't turn to know elite because when you growing up in an urban community, you only have what you view. True indeed, you hear this at school and hear this when you take these trips or whatever. But after all that talking and all that, that what's being glammed, you go back to what you see every day in the neighborhood. And people
Right.
develop an idea like that, ain't much gonna change, so they don't push. And then, to give up is the easiest thing to do because it requires you to do nothing. And before long, a person talking about they gonna do this and it's steady getting pushed off, easier to let go each day that pass. And then you adopt the grading. You'll pick up some good habits, but what type of good habits, happen around the hood 24/7. So you're gonna
Right.
pick up what you around, and it's just a person they gotta want different.
Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, you're right about that, bro. You gotta want it. Hey, Meek, you there? Cause I think your camera off. You in the matrix?
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
here. It's dark in my car, so I just turned the camera off. So you can't really see
Oh,
me anyway.
okay.
I know I'm bright, but I ain't that bright in the dark.
Oh, that's crazy. But you sound like you driving too. So, but
I
I was
am. I'm almost home right now.
okay. Yeah, because that's why I was trying to give you time to, but when you cut your camera, because I know you are, because I wanted to ask you. Um, but I know you driving, so you pay attention. So you
I'm.
just if you get
I'll be
home,
home in like 3 minutes.
okay, bet that'll work. No, so all right, so this is what we want to do, Kev, because at the end of the day, I know everything that you're dealing with, man, and you got such a positive attitude about it, and you got some supporters for real because they've been dropping comments in here. So Marianne and Demeter, they've been repping you hard throughout
Oh,
the
they go
show, man.
hard. Yeah.
And
Neither one of them play.
yeah, I could tell. He said neither one of them play about what you got going on for real.
Not just with what I got going on. Like in this field of human rights, when people start, a lot of times it start with a personal experience, like with a family
True,
member.
true.
Some people might get that experience from a friend, just helping somebody or something. But
Right,
when it's like a Pandora's box. When you grab a key and you unlock a box before others did, and you gather understanding, it make you wanna, go for that next clue and see what else you can get done.
true.
And then next thing you know, you turn into a full-fledged soldier, pushing for what's right, knowing the evils within the system.
True.
But I want to get into a it's an ideology that I didn't told this. I think I didn't told this to Demeter and Marianne before. But how hate destroys, and you gonna see it start out one side, but in the end it'll be flip side. And I'm just making up a scenario, and I'm gonna use you
Okay.
as an example. Let's say you got a cousin, a female cousin you love dearly.
Right,
She got a career going, and everybody love her cause she got a good spirit. Then
right,
one morning y'all wake up, the news say she been raped and brutally raped and murdered. Instantly, a flood of emotions gonna hit, anger and all kind of stuff. So and then the case gathered a large, it carries, throughout the nation. It
right,
draw a lot of attention. So now it ain't called for, harsher laws for, incidents like this. So they're using
right,
the details of the case to push for, law. And because this her family, she angry with you angry with you are rightfully so. And you
right,
pushing for it. That person get caught, he get punished, go down. They say he one of the broke individuals, he ain't got nothing going, so he down here begging and robbing and drugs and doing whatever he can. And
right,
then let's say 8 years pass. This law done being put in effect. It was used for that reason. But now
right,
prosecutors done found other ways to bring that harsher sentencing or prosecution upon a person just by one or two, links that really
right,
don't work. But to somebody who don't have a defense or have money to put up a defense or don't know, they'll get by with them on. So then the law
got
get improperly used. And let's say you catch an offense or somebody else in the family, catch an offense. They matter of fact, let's say her son, 7 years later, he older now. He earned 21 now. But he didn't come up, shelter because she gone, and the streets got him a little bit, so he a little hot head, and he go out and make a bonehead mistake and get arrested. When the
right,
prosecution start their prosecution, they not thinking about, oh, his mama was the reason why that law started. They only focus on the career. win. Especially something in the news like that. So they're gonna do him the worst way. Then he down the road, the same guy who initiated the crime and got did wrong, or see somebody like him who come down not strong, maybe affiliate. It could be the same situation that'll eat you. It
Okay.
don't even have to be an opposition, but a person who is civilian who not strong, it's hard for them down here. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's hard. I'm talking about people get killed on a humble about nothing. You like I finesse the situation, make it seem like you owe me and you don't owe me nothing. It get real. So
And you done you in there. So eh,
you know,
that's
but
you know that shit crazy, bro.
and
I can't
all
even
of
hold
what
you.
and this was crazy though. All of what I'm telling you only happened because of my attorneys, my own attorney, both of them, the trial attorney and the appeal attorney. The way they actually work, you wouldn't think they ever prosecuted the case, which is why I believe what I paid them, I believe the prosecutor doubled and gave them or something like that. Because it was no defense put up.
And
So
it was an
now
easy one
having
for you.
and then having the being able to break everything down now, it just I want to be it's crazy because they give you an opportunity throughout the appellate courts to address those state issues. You know what I mean? But the constitutional violations is what keep me alive. And the information that I put on my page, um, that's what I'm trying to get information on in reference to where that falls under newly discovered evidence because that's material to my case. That happened 9 months after the case. And that was the person who involved me in everything I went through.
Man, yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I can't necessarily say exactly what, but I just know, bro. Like it's gonna be huge for you. Like the way that you're gonna come out on the other side of this, I promise, man. It ain't for nothing. I don't know. I like I said, it's not too much I could put my finger on because, like, and it's another thing too. I don't know. I'd be reluctant with what I say because, I don't want people to think like I'm weird and shit, but I am. You know what I mean? And so at the same time, what I'm saying is like, I just see something. You know what I mean? And not all for nothing. No, I don't feel like you deserve to go through this, what you're going through. I don't. You know what I mean? But I do see that it's for a reason, and you won't be in there for life, bro, and you won't
Hey,
even
I
be in there
honestly,
much longer.
it's crazy you said that because, like, I feel like the way I feel now because of the meter. Um, like I was telling her we had a conversation one day, and I didn't know I felt like that until it actually came out my mouth. It was during the time when we were planning that rally on the state capitol. A lot of people saw it as a failure. In the beginning, I did too because it had rained all that day. I'm talking, I was so sick, I almost cried. I was so mad about it. But um, I remember telling her I put a lot to the side. Even my own personal business, I had a meeting with her attorney. I counseled all it, and I was focusing on the promo behind, that rally. Man, that thing, if it wouldn't have rained, it would have been a couple thousand on the state cap. It would have been
Right.
a lot of people out there, media, paper, and all that. But inshallah, what I told her though, I was like, cause she was telling me don't, set my stuff to the side, cause I got a lot going on, I'm close. And I was like, I remember verbatim, I was saying, getting a bill passed, cause she running for House Representative too. And I know she'll be a bulldog if she won. She'll be a
And
writer.
who's
She'll
that?
write in the meter, Bishop. She'll write
Oh,
in.
word.
So
Okay.
I done witnessed y'all in the field. So that I don't care how much I like you or how much I rock with you. I ain't finna lie for you. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
I put my fake card on her because I didn't witness, what she'll do, behind the scenes. So
Yeah, we're gonna have to get her on the show. Demeter, if you're still watching, we need to connect, yo. I want to get you on, yo, so we could chop it up about that because as many people as we can. I got another young brother that's running for mayor and up here, so I'm gonna be chopping it up with him soon too. So, yeah, I definitely love to chop it up with you. So, let's try to connect if we can. On any of these social media platforms I'm on, especially if you're on Facebook, we can connect and we can go from there though. But yeah, I think that's a good look too, bro.
and then,
Because yeah,
and then
that's where the change is
yeah,
going to be
cause
made.
and like that what I was telling. I was like, man, she was telling me don't counsel to me, don't do this, don't do that. I was like, excuse my language, but I was like, man, fuck that, man. Getting these bills passed for the whole of the people is way more important because what's crazy is when a person acknowledges the suffering that's going on, how it's being
True.
passed down, and people out here living their life every day. It ain't that they being nasty and don't care. It just they dealing with what's right there in front of them.
Right.
The baby might be in there whining and need a bottle. It take some real persistence and will to want something to sit down in these type sessions. To look for intel to grow from.
Yeah, it's
And,
facts. Yeah,
so
no, that's facts.
and basically what I do, I just be trying to make these procedures, the process of it, help. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if I hit to the streets, 'cause I'm from the west side of Atlanta off of Bankhead, when I get at my partners, I tell them what's up. And then, reach out to the, outlets and whatever to send words, people who might be connected to other people that I'm not. You know what I
Right.
mean? But the way it works, when they hear your name, they do their background check. If you official, they don't. You
Facts.
right. You know what I mean?
And that's a good look. You know what I'm saying? So yo, being in the position you in and still and being official at the same time, it matters, yo. Hey Meek, we finally got you on. Look, I know you've been there the whole time, but I get it. When you got I said it earlier, y'all moms, y'all never clock out, yo.
Don't stop. It don't stop. And the more kids you
Clock
got, the
out.
more shit you gotta do. Like,
All right. But I know you've been watching the whole show, so I was normally I always go to you with those questions because like you said we find ourselves on the show having a lot of people who are parents that are fighting for their child, and it's all been most of it, if not 90% of it, has been dealing with corruption. And not even for the people for their child. Look at Fred Chandler. So what's going on with them? And I've been seeing all the reports coming out of Mississippi for today. But what you think about the fact that we still have to deal with corruption in the sense of what we're facing each and every day?
I, it's just the same thing about racism. Like, how does it still exist? How is this still happening? How did they have zero evidence against this brother, but he has to come up with the evidence to show he's innocent? Like, y'all
Right.
didn't even have enough to show that he was guilty. How? But he got to go jump through all these hoops to show
To
that he
prove that.
didn't do it. He wasn't even there. It's like it just somebody needs to make it make sense at this point
It,
because it's not the math ain't mathing. It's really frustrating. I
Right.
for
know this
real.
situation because I know somebody I grew up with in the projects who went through this. He just got out after 20 years for something he didn't do, and it's coming back around. It's still happening. It's why don't they understand they're affecting families? Like they're literally affecting people's families. They get to go home, they get to be with their loved ones while they're putting somebody away. His son, like he said, was born right around the time all this happened. He didn't even get that time, and they get their time. It's
Real.
just it's infuriating at this point. That's what all of these things are showing me. Like we've been doing a lot. There has been people working on this and trying to get this better, but we need more people. We need more hands on deck for this because this shit is out of hand. It's out of
No,
hand.
you're right. No, you're right. You're right. And I think that's where it starts with what we do right here. Like when we give people an opportunity to come up here and tell their story and we share these things and they get out there, it gives people the opportunity to find something like what if they ever felt like it was something they wanted to support. You know what I mean? They can't, there's no more excuses because when it happened to them, people don't understand until it happened to them on their doorstep. Cause then
Exactly.
that's when they like, oh, yo, I remember I heard or what me think because now what I like even with Kevin now, like I'm saying, like the things that you're doing is going to force laws to be created and put in place to help people for not moving forward. So your sacrifice, although it's a deep sacrifice, man, because you're not with your kid, you're not be able to pursue your dreams. I mean, all these other things that take place, and the fact that you somewhere that's violent. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know,
gotta
prison
go.
is violent. You got to
Yeah, I gotta
go.
go. You know. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
bro. Well, be cool, man. And like I said, man, I got you. All right, stay safe,
All
yo.
right.
Bye.
One.
Say what?
Yeah,
All right, yo. So
it's
look,
this shit is wild. I was just listening to the story and I couldn't jump in like I wanted to. But like you were saying, like he got a purpose in this because I noticed a lot of what he kept saying was, well, then I learned, but then I learned. And it was just
right,
like he's going through this and he's retaining this information. He's using this information. He's helping other people. He's paying it forward. His case ain't even done yet. He ain't even out. But he's making
right,
sure that whatever he's learning, he's not gatekeeping. And so that's why it feels like there's a purpose in this for him. He has, and he said he can rally people, he can get people together, he has that energy to bring people in. So yes, unfortunately it has taken so many years of his life, but he didn't put that to waste. He went in there and he put in work. He's going in there getting degrees, learning shit, so when he come out, you ain't about to play in my face no more. Y'all playing in my
yeah,
face right now because I don't know the laws. Y'all playing in my face because I don't know all the details. But wait till I get those details. You ain't gonna be able to
exactly,
play with me no more. So
exactly.
that's what they gonna learn. They fucked up. That's what they gonna learn. They fucked up because
You ain't
you
gonna
put
lie.
somebody in jail who's like, nah, this shit ain't gonna keep happening. This ain't gonna be the way. So they gonna keep fucking around and putting us in jail, and we gonna smarten up and be like, nah, let me
Yeah,
put you
it's gonna
back where
have
you
to
was.
stop. You know what I mean? And at some point, like him, he took the time to go learn. He didn't use that as an opportunity just to sit there and be mad. 'Cause he could have just said, "I'm just deal with it," and just became, a part of the just institutional life and didn't try to fight or even want to help other people.
Exactly.
Especially when he has so much that he could use or that could be used to get him out with just a good lawyer, with just a person that just want to come and do their job. I don't understand the difference. Like before, it used to seem like lawyers would want to make a name for themselves by being a winner. Now they don't care about winning or losing. They just care about getting paid. That's it. They could care if they win, lose, if their name is whoever. They just care about getting paid, obviously, and that's just not the way it go. I wish more people coming out of law school.
I
I
wish
wish they would.
they cared more. Yeah, that's what it is. They
Yeah,
don't care
I wish
about
it
it.
was aware.
It's that dollar sign. Oh, I can make a lot of money as a lawyer, but you don't give a fuck about the people. You
Nah,
can't be in certain positions and not care about people. It's just if your duty is to take care of people and you don't give a fuck, that ain't the profession for you. Like you need to move around.
nah.
You need to do something else.
Yeah, you
Cause
need to put them out.
yeah,
Word. You need to put puzzles together and then put them in a frame. Because if that's
I mean,
if you,
I was just looking at a puzzle. I just did of Ninja Turtles. I just did it this morning.
that's crazy, right? Yeah.
And I am
Um.
gonna frame it. So
Yeah, that's crazy. So, Marianne just put up a comment. She said it's a never-ending fight. If 55 K individuals are incarcerated, where are the 55 K voices we need to speak? Which is true. Like if people would speak and tell a story more, or I mean, I guess people don't always have a platform, so I guess now it's no excuse. Now people got a platform where they could get on and they could get to me and we can make it shake and we can schedule it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put them on and they're gonna get their story out because I never heard of this story before up until I met them, and it was one of the impacted moms that put me on to him and his story. It wasn't even like that's how much these families are paying it forward and sticking together and finding each other based on everything that they're going through. And because they have found a way to support each other through tragedy, they're able to help other people get their stories out. And again, people find their purpose in some of the strangest ways. We got every people who out here every day who just do the same cycle every day. They just get up, go to work, come home. Get up, go to work, come home. Now, whatever happens in those between that, that's all they do every day. But then you got people who deal with the things that we have been having on the platform who don't get to think about themselves at all. Like you, first of all, you a parent and you don't think about yourself because you got to think about your kids. But then after something happens to them, you still put yourself to the side and you still have to put them first. And even now with him, like, yo, he's an adult going through this, but damn, think about what his child is going through. I just feel like
it's
just
too
as
comfortable breaking our homes up, y'all. That's what it is.
man, listen, and then the fact that the industrial complex is they make money off of us, and the way that the prison system is set up, and it's private prisons, and a lot of the record labels own the prisons. So a lot of these guys, they get into the record business only to become criminals, only to influence criminality, and then these people go right up in jail. And the same people that's putting out the music is the same people that own the prison. So it's just a lot. It's a lot that we just keep falling for, and I hate it, and I hate that as a community that we still allow them to pull the wool over our eye. Like, how much longer do we have to continue to walk blind before we say we can't see, yo? Like, it's got to be somewhere. But look, all right. So this is what we're gonna do because like it's crazy. Because next week's show, like even for next week, so next week's show, we got a young lady on, the lady that you met, where her child
Oh, yeah.
was defending herself.
Did you watch the
A, a
video?
group a group of people.
Yeah. Did you see that video?
Yeah. And so, Annie was younger than the people that was jumping on him, and then so he defends himself, and now he in jail. Like it's just not the way. And at some point, people need to start being called out for their bullshit. And you know what I'm saying? And we got to start using social media for what it really for. People be using it to tell their business. They always want to put their
Yeah.
business out, put up memes, and be subliminal. But then there's real shit going on in the world that you could use your platform for, your voice, and let's use it for what it's for. You know what I mean? It's time for people to start feeling what they giving. Because I promise you, when it hits your home, listen, they gonna be wanting somebody to speak for them too.
Yo, for real.
This
Because
shit
I put
whack, yo.
myself in their shoes every week. Every single week, I am putting myself in their shoes.
Look,
And most of the time, I don't know how they still standing, to be honest.
because I don't know what I would do. That's why I don't play. That's why even when they come out, when they get off the show, yo, I be editing, I be chopping up, I be making sure we get these things out. I be promoting, I be posting it in different groups, all kind of stuff. I be connecting people in the background. This person to that person with that person. I be on phone calls with these people even after they don't come on the show. I be working because, like I say, that's what I can do. But as another person, if something happened to me, I would want people to do the same thing for me. I don't do it for that reason, but I would want people to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? If I needed to get people to rally behind me, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm glad that my life purpose has taken me this way versus me being on the other end. And we all got to find our purpose. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful that mine came this way. You know, so we're gonna keep pushing, right? We're gonna keep allowing people to come through and get their thing off because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, for those of y'all that's watching right now, those of y'all that watch tonight, double salute to y'all. Make sure if y'all not already, please, if y'all watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video so it could get out to more people. We need more people to hear about this story. If you're watching this on Twitch, same thing. Like the page, follow us on Twitch. If you're on X right now watching us, thank y'all so much. Please, follow and like the page as well so y'all could be updated when we keep these people because we're gonna keep these stories going. We're gonna have more. We got more people that have been wrongly accused of different things that want to come on the show as well too. So I'm just letting y'all know, man. Going forward, just be ready. You know what I mean? Our platform has taken a turn for the better. I would say. Um, I used to like to joke and laugh a lot. It just ain't been that. It ain't that. You know what I mean? I guess if we want to catch some comedy, y'all go to our page, the Collective Visions on Facebook. Go to Team Collective TV. You'll catch all our content, all our skits, all our, stuff that is pertaining to things like that. But right now, Sparking Conversation is the move. We're going to make sure that this platform is open to people who need to get a story out, need to get a word out. And that's just what it is, bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, my bad. That's what they saying now, period.
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 How old are we?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's like period, I bet. So look, tell everybody what you got going on real quick before we get out of here. You got anything going on, anything coming up?
Yes, definitely follow me on Facebook, promoting my human design workshop for next month. We only got 4 slots left. So
So,
if you are interested in learning about human design, trying to get the blueprint of your life, follow it and kind of understand what your purpose is here on this great big earth, um, tune in. Check me out on Facebook. Life Purpose Life Coach, that's what I'm about. So I do love that this is where the direction of this show is going because it kind of fits who I am. On one side, I am the joking and talking shit, which you can see on the skits. Uh,
right,
that is a big part of me. But my passion and what I really love to do is helping people find where they're supposed to be in this world and to get there and not feel lost. So check me out.
facts. So y'all make sure y'all follow her, y'all check her out. As far as me, y'all already know. Make sure y'all follow us. You can follow me on IG, you know what I'm saying? If you want to keep up with everything that we got going on, I post a lot of things on there. But those of you that hit me all the time to ask me how can you support the show, you can hit us up on my link tree right there. And when you go there, you can it's a bunch of little tabs up there. Not a bunch, but it's a few. And then you can pick what you need. If you want to just make sure you catch up on the podcast, you can. You want to catch up on the content, you can. If you want to donate to the podcast, you can. It's all there, all right. Even the merch. If you want to cop the merch, we got the Sparking Conversation merch that still developing, still putting it through. So if you guys are feeling like you want to support the squad, make sure y'all do that, all right. Also remember y'all that we do go live each and every Tuesday. So it's always love to come join us, and the comments are always wide open. If you follow or any of the guests that come on, for those of y'all that's watching, it's cool if y'all guys, go drop them a little note here and there. Even if you don't want to say nothing, drop them a couple of emojis, the praying ones, the heart, the care one, or whatever, just to let them know, like, what I'm saying, like, the at least that we could do. Try to motivate, try to encourage, and keep people going forward because what they're dealing with is real. And like I said, it could happen to you. And if it does, you will want that same energy given back. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all so much for all of y'all that watched live tonight. Y'all jumped on, was a bunch of y'all. We appreciate it. Double salute to everybody that have downloaded the audio version. We definitely appreciate y'all. And yo, just keep up with us, man. We're gonna keep pushing as long as y'all keep motivating us to keep going forward. So until next week, peace And remember, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. All right.